Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. This is Dr. Mahmoud Ahmad, and this is our first writing class in the IELTS course. Because writing has many tasks and many different requirements, so writing will not take only one video from us. We will need to record many videos, and today we will be focusing on writing letters. But before we start with writing letters, we need to have a general introduction. We all know we have two modules of the IELTS test. We have the general module and the academic training module. Task 2 is consistent. It is the same in the writing and in the academic IELTS test. You are supposed to write an essay, 250 words, in 40 minutes. Now, there are already defined kinds of essays that come in the IELTS test. What we need to do is know these kinds and train on how to write 250 words on each topic. As for task 1, it is different. Task 1 in the academic training module is about analyzing a graph. You're supposed to analyze a graph in 150 words in about 20 minutes. And in the general training module, task 1 is about writing a letter. So you're supposed to write a letter, 150 words, in about 20 minutes also. This is our focus today. Today we will focus on writing letters and how we can manage it in 20 minutes. We have two kinds of letters, formal letters and informal letters. Informal letters, you're supposed to be addressing someone in power, like, for example, a boss or a government official or a professor. As for the informal letters, you're supposed to be addressing someone you know very well, like a friend or a family member, say a brother or a cousin. And of course, the language used in the informal letter is informal language, like casual language, okay? Like the language you use with your brother at home or with your friends. However, the kind of language used in the formal letters, it has to be standardized, okay? How to write formal letters? You start with dear and then the title and last name, not the first name. Like dear Dr. Smith, dear Miss Thompson, okay? Do not start with first names. Do not say, for example, dear Dr. John or dear Miss Sarah. These are first names. Do not use first names. And then you move to the body of the letter. You give details, you give vivid details that can make the situation look like real. And you start with, I hope this letter finds you well. And then you end your formal letter with a formal greeting and your formal name. Like, for example, regards, Ashley Simmons. Or please accept my sincere homage, John Smith. Informal letters, you start also with a greeting like dear, but here you can use the first name or nickname. Like, for example, dear John, dear Mikey for Michael. You don't have to say dear Michael because this is a friend. And then the bulk of the letter, the body of the letter, you give also details. You start with a casual opening, something like long time no see, I'm missing you loads, something like this. And then you end in a casual way, casual goodbye, like yours faithfully, and then your first name, Sarah. Okay, this is an example on an informal letter, okay? You play a team sport with some friends. Last week, a member of the team had an accident and wasn't able to play with you at the weekend. You decide to write to him in the hospital, telling him about the match. Write a letter to your friend in your letter. Tell him which team won. Describe the conditions on that day and say how you felt about the match. I made this piece of writing like a template, like a sample answer. Okay, dear Freddy. Again, here I started with Freddy, which is the first name or maybe the nickname of the friend. Dear Freddy, and then an opening, like a warm-up. Okay, I hope your leg is getting better, and I hope you are having a tolerable time in hospital. I heard you are going to be discharged in a week. Is this news true? So this is like an opening for the letter. And then we move to the body of the letter. I know you must have been biting nails since yesterday, waiting for the results of the match. I am sorry if the news is disappointing, but it didn't go as expected. Our team couldn't make it because the right front wing you used to cover became very weak without you. Also, it started to rain as soon as we started the match, and the land became really slippery, which negatively affected our performance. However, the other team seemed very well trained to play under the rain. We all were very sure, or pretty sure, we would lose the match only 30 minutes after the match had started. I cannot express how we all felt down because we all were very hopeful to win the cup. It seems we should have expanded our training to include adverse weather conditions. Now this is the bulk. The bulk is over, okay? Now we should end the letter. Now we are all waiting for you. This is like a conclusion. Waiting for you to come back and join the new training program we are designing now. So feel better and recover soon. And then yours faithfully, John. This is the end of the letter. Now we need to have like a checklist to know whether or not the writing is okay. Did we cover the task? This is the most important question you need to ask yourself. Did I cover the task? Go back to the task and see. You're supposed to cover 3 points. Tell him which team won, which we did. Describe the conditions on that day. We did. We said it trained. And then say how you felt about the match. We did. We said we were disappointed. Okay. Next point. Length. Is it 150 words? 150 words is okay. 140 is okay. 160 is okay. Even 170 is okay. But more than this, you'll be penalized. This piece of writing is about 170 words, which is pretty acceptable. Okay. However, if it is a bit shorter, it will be much better. Okay. And then language. In language, you check grammar. You check spelling. You check punctuation. You check everything related to language. Okay. So here in this piece of writing, all these items are okay. However, one more thing you need to know in the IELTS test is that you need to have a variety of language. For example, do not use the same words again and again. Look at the word disappointing in the second line in the second paragraph. Here, I'm sorry if the news is disappointing. Afterward, I wanted to repeat the same meaning. So I said, we all felt down. I didn't say we all felt disappointed again because I do not want to repeat myself. Do not repeat the vocabulary you are using. If you do this, you lose marks. Okay? Do not repeat the vocabulary. Use synonyms. Use polished language. And then register. What do we mean by register? Is it formal or informal? Here we are addressing a friend. We are addressing someone you're playing with. So, for example, his name is Frederick. So I called him Freddy. Okay? And the kind of language seems pretty informal, which is acceptable at this in this piece of writing. So I think the checklist here is okay. Okay, so this is how to write a letter. I hope this video is helpful when it comes to teaching how to write a letter for the IELTS test. If you have any questions or inquiries or comments, you can send me whatever you like on my mail, Mahmoud Ibrahim 1405@gmail.com. Thank you and see you in our next session. Next session we'll be talking about analyzing graphs. So see you next time.